Today we're talking about social selling and how that will benefit you as a small business and a visionary entrepreneur. Hey, I'm Coach Molle from Visibility Hacking Studios and so excited that you guys are here for this video. I'm glad you've made it this far in our social selling series. If you haven't already, make sure you check out the rest of the series. There'll be a playlist linked above. But in the meantime, for those of you who have already made it this far in the series, let's just dive straight into it. In this series, we have been talking about social selling from a variety of different perspectives. And today, specifically, we're going to talk about the skills that you need in order to make social selling a success for your business. Because the reality is, when you're an entrepreneur, you're a small business owner, you are required to wear quite a few different hats. And that can be a little bit overwhelming because with all of those different hats come different skills and different responsibilities. So in this video, we're going to share with you the core skill that you have to master. We'll talk about having a sustainable social selling strategy, and we'll talk about the one thing that you have to do if you want to have social selling success. So for this and more, I'll see you after the intro. If you want social selling to work for your business, there is one core skill that you have to focus on. First and foremost, above and beyond, it's more important than creating content, it's more important than knowing how to sell to people, and it's even more important than your core business. That one skill is knowing how to serve before you start to sell. Give people value before you ask them for anything in return. Yes, this could look like giving your services away for free to a small group of people that you use to build your case studies and your client testimonials. Yes, doing this can also look like giving value in Facebook groups and answering people's questions or just jumping on calls just to help people out. I know so many incredible small businesses and online businesses that have really blown up because they focused on serving before selling. I have these couple of friends who are really into helping people build their podcasts for their business, and their way of social selling is beautiful. So they're a pair, a partnership, and they'll both tag team each other when they go into these different communities of people who are looking to build podcasts, i.e. they are finding communities of their ideal customers. When their ideal customers start posting questions, comments, or concerns, these two will tag team each other and constantly be giving advice. They're always saying, hey, I'd love to jump on a call and help you out. This is my recommendation. But totally, let's jump on a call and we can help flesh that out for you. And this is a no charge conversation. Simply by helping an ideal customer overcome a single obstacle, a single tiny little obstacle, you can use that as a way to open the door and start having a much deeper conversation that you can easily steer around to, hey, we are the ideal solution for your problem. So why don't we just keep this conversation going? You can join us as a client. Simple. It works. But you have to start from a position of serving value before you ever even expect your customers, your potential customers, your new leads to fork over any value for you. Yes, they can feel a little bit demoralizing at first. I wanted to start my business overnight. I wanted to be that overnight success. Remember that story? Well, once I got rid of that mentality and I started to realize if I serve value first, then people will recognize me for the expert that I am. That's when my business completely changed. So serve value first. Question of the day, I'm curious, how do you serve value to your people? Let us know down in the comments. I know that some of you are fitness coaches, some of you are life coaches, some of you are building really cool sales-based businesses where you help connect people to really cool assets. Whatever it is, I'm curious about your process. So let me know if you already serve value first and how you do that. Let me know down in the comments. Social selling can be totally overwhelming. I know when I first started, I was like, this is exhausting. I wanted to hire an entire team of social media people just so they could focus on the social selling. Building those one-on-one relationships that weren't tied to a number in my bank account was quite a large obstacle I needed to mentally overcome in order to build a successful business. And this is because I felt completely and totally overwhelmed by having to create content, but specifically content that's designed to connect. Now, of course, we've talked about this in past videos. Definitely check those out. Join us here on the channel, subscribe, all of that fun stuff so that you can get all of these videos. But we have talked in the past about the importance of creating a schedule. So we're gonna talk about it even more today because I bet there's one of you watching who hasn't created your content schedule yet, and you're still feeling like you're drowning in trying to create the right kinds of content. So if you want to utilize social selling in a beautiful way, in a way that really elevates your brand and pushes those conversations to the next level, you have to get out of that survival mode, is what we call it. You have to get rid of that feeling of treading water in the middle of the ocean with the giant waves just crashing over you as life events put more and more hurdles in your way. That's no way to run a business. That is the easiest ticket to exhaustion. So my simple way to overcome that is to come up with a content calendar, to plan out how you are going to create the right content that's going to engage with your people. And of course, we have a video showing you more about creating content plans. And of course, we have a training that will help you develop an entire year's worth of content in a weekend or even quicker. But all of that stuff aside, I need you to remember to create that content plan. Have an idea of how you want to connect with your people. And this is actually a lot easier than you think. It can feel really overwhelming when you're like, I can't read people's minds. I don't know how to create content that's valuable to them. Start with understanding who you are, what your brand does, how you solve problems, what is your process, how do you work, and what are the objections that people have shown you in the past. Create content around those topics and you will see that your brand is actually highlighted. Instead of just showing pictures of what you ate for lunch, you're now connecting everything back to solving the problems for your ideal customers. And this overwhelm is pushed easily aside when we create a plan. Once you've created that plan, your next step should definitely be to hit the subscribe button and join us here on the channel. We would love to see you around, but most importantly, I want you to get these tips, these tricks, and these strategies directly to your inbox because, well, they're valuable and I want your brand to start succeeding in a way that you never thought possible. And it all starts by hitting the subscribe button. Sometimes I feel like a broken record, whether I'm working with a client who has been with us for a year or more, or I'm talking to someone who is brand new to the visibility hacking world. What I feel like I'm repeating over and over again is the importance of building a solid foundation. I've given you this analogy before, but I want you to think about it. If you're building your dream house and you build it on a shaky foundation, you just kind of threw some trash into a pile and you're like, yeah, okay, we'll build the beautiful house on top of this trash pile and it's totally gonna work. The reality is your house is gonna fall down very, very soon. If it's not built on a solid foundation, the wind, the waves, the movement of your house is going to bring it crumbling down. And the same thing happens with your visibility. So when you're creating content that's designed to connect to your audience, you first have to be really consistent with it. You have to show growth. And third, but fundamentally, you have to build that solid foundation. So when you're building your brand visibility, I want you to think about those basic things. I want you to think about your content plan. I want you to put intentional energy into creating those content and creating that connection with your audience. It can be really easy to skip that foundation. For example, I know way too many clients who have come to me and they've skipped certain foundational tasks and we put them through the ringer. We make them pay attention to who their customer avatar is. We make them put intentional energy into coming up with their brand and their message so that you're completely in alignment. Your brand message and your customer avatar are designed to fit together. If we don't pay attention to the foundations, our entire brand will fall and crumble. And that's a waste of time, that's a waste of resources, and that is no way to build a successful business. Now, if you want to build a successful business and you want the right tools, tips, and strategies, clearly you're gonna subscribe here on the Visibility Hacking channel, but also I want you to click the links down down in the description and get your copy of our small business marketing worksheet. This worksheet has helped small businesses around the world secure more than $100 million in funding, and you can do that for your business as well. Follow the links down below. I will see you again for our next episode, and until then, remember I love you, be excellent to each other, and just go live, as your people are waiting for you.